Welcome to the Celebrate Brave podcast. I'm Nicole Steinbach, your host and the International Bravery Coach. I've gone from welfare to multiple six figures, from a speech impediment to bilingual, from, wow, the next county away, to a career that stretched over 25 countries, and from fear to brave AF. This podcast is for successful women ready to envision, design, and leap to their next big success. Together, we are redefining what brave looks like, how we identify it, and most importantly, how we celebrate it. Because when you build your brave, you change your world. And that changes the world. And that is something to celebrate. Hello, brave people. I am so excited to dive into part 3 of my How to Build Your Brave framework today with you. Part 3 is called Own It Like a Boss. And it's swagger and confidence and frustration and disappointment and so much goodness, so much growth. Now, this is part 3 of my framework. If you missed the overview, it's in an earlier podcast episode. Go ahead and go back and check that out. All right, let's dive into part 3. Own it like a boss. There are so many amazing role models for owning it like a boss from all over the world. It was very difficult for me to identify which quote I was going to use for this podcast because I'm telling y'all, I have hundreds. Why do I have hundreds? Because this is where most people spend the most of their energy and time. Sounds wild, right? I mean, if you know what you want, tell it to your dentist. And you're in action, experience it like a kindergartner. Why is Own It Like a Boss where so many people, including myself, spend so much of their time and so much of their energy? And how is this different than experiencing it like a kindergartner? 2 questions I get asked all the time from my personal clients, from my small group cohorts, and when I speak publicly. Here are my answers. Number 1, because clarity takes time and it's always shifting, but it's our behaviors, our beliefs, our mindset, our relationships, our personalities, our growth patterns, our learning styles. Oh my goodness, all these things that make us the wonderful, unique people that we are. That's where the rubber hits the road and stays there. That's where the shift, the building your brave, sustains. That's where not a change, but a transformation. A transformation. Can I say that again? A transformation really, really, really settles in and becomes the new reality. That's why. The learn and the act and the experience, that whole spiral, that's sort of what other people see. The own it like a boss, that's what we see, what we feel, what we experience. And the outcome of that impacts other people Oh, it sounds so academic and so theoretical. And I get that. I totally understand that. That's why I started this framework saying, hey, these parts I artificially call part one, part two, and part three, because in reality, they are always underway at the same time in different ways. So much richness. So own it like a boss. In the end, I decided that I would bring to the table a quote from Randy Pausch. Randy Pausch is not someone who a ton of people have heard of. It's a bummer because his last lecture is the best last lecture out there. So if you're not familiar with the concept of the last lecture, the idea, and it is a millennial old, the idea is that one gives a lecture as if it was their last lecture, as if. The twist here with Randy Pausch is that it truly was his quote unquote last lecture. He had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and he knew he was on his way into that next phase, whatever his set of beliefs were. And so he gave this lecture at Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh at the university where he was a professor. And there is so much goodness in this. And while he does have a book, The Last Lecture, I highly recommend checking out the YouTube recording. The quote I want to bring to us today is a quote that I had lived. I had lived in an unstable household. I had lived going from school to school throughout my childhood. I had lived in keeping my scholarships and getting to college in the first place. I had lived in my relationships and I hadn't ever been gifted a metaphor to help me understand what I was living. So here we go. The brick walls are there for a reason. The brick walls are not there to keep us out. The brick walls are there to give us a chance to show how badly we want something. Because the brick walls are there to stop the people who don't want it badly enough. They're there to stop the other people. I'm going to say the beginning sentence and the end sentence again, because it is so powerful and it relates so much to the conversation today of owning it like a boss. The brick walls are there for a reason. They're there to stop the other people. Oh, brave soul. You have written down your next big success. You have been playing with it. You've gotten more specific. It's become more real to you. You are in the spiral of experiencing it like a kindergartner. You're learning, you're acting, you're experiencing the joys and the frustration, the successes, the failures, sometimes even the boredom. Here we go. You're running into brick walls, right? Maybe you already crashed into one. Maybe you know one is there. And you're thinking, ugh, that's going to be a lot of work. Getting through, getting over, going around that brick wall. Oh, that's going to be. Is my next big success? Is my goal? Is my clarity? Is my learning and acting? Is it really worth the effort to deal with that brick wall? Only you know the answer to that. Only you know the answer to that. But if the answer is yes, if the answer is, Michael, not only am I telling it to my dentist and experiencing it like a kindergartner, but I am going to make it mine. I am making it mine. I make it mine. Then that brick wall is there to show you, to give you an opportunity to show how badly you want your goal, your next big success. It is a gift. When I decided to step out of corporate, to leave behind the snazzy, super impressive title of Global Senior Director, it was terrifying. Talk about brick walls. Ooh, inside me, inside my relationships, I was called crazy. I felt crazy. And then there were all these things I didn't know. All these people I didn't know. Brick walls all around. And then the choice, the ever continuing choice to go through it, to climb over it, to go under it, and to go around it. I didn't know the people. I didn't know entrepreneurs. I didn't. I had built my career in Germany, in Europe. My network was all over Europe and then North America and then Asia and then South America and then Africa. That's how much time I spent identifying where's my network. And very, very few of those people were entrepreneurs. And here I am in Colorado. Brick walls. Brick walls. So what did I do? I went in search. I learned, I acted. I learned, I acted. I knew I was going to need a team. So I started consulting so I can be a part of a team. I knew I would need role models. So I found podcasts. I asked people, what are you listening to? I was gifted by a super, super amazing woman, the gift of knowing about Marie Forleo. I took courses and I joined a mastermind. And before I was fully aware, I had my company up and running. I had something like a network. I had an accountability partner and my first private clients, because the brick walls are there to give me a chance to show how badly I want something. And I badly want to redefine brave. I want to shift how we see it, identify it, how we celebrate it. And I want the spine of our world, which is technology. Now, of course, it's heart and connection and human experience, of course. It's the environment, of course. 100%. And the one that we have built is technology. And right now, technology is keeping way too many people out. Way too many people out. And that has got to change. And when women in technology build their brave, when they build their brave and change their world, more money, better relationships, more opportunities, bigger seats, building new tables, new banquet halls, as I was recently told, technology will be more inclusive. It is more inclusive than it was a year ago. And that will only continue. I am so passionate about that all of the brick walls give me a chance to show how badly I want it. So yeah, they stop other people. And sometimes a brick wall also stops me. There are certain aspects of being an entrepreneur, like Website development. Woman in tech, not excited about website development. Social media design. That is a brick wall. Could I climb over it? Could I go under it? Could I go around it? 1000%. Do I want to? No, as a matter of fact, I do not. So now I have to own it like a boss. I have to be very clear. Tell it to your dentist. Social media, 3 channels. The feeling is brave, confident, empowered. Who is the expert I will work with to ensure social media is up to date? Social media reflects who I am and what I want to bring in the world, and social media is not on my plate. Now, if you go in there and you see longer stories or stories, that's me. I'm sharing a story. That's a brick wall. I'll climb over. I'll go around. I'll go under. I'll go through. And making it designed, that's not me. I don't do that designing and I don't do that posting because that is a brick wall that showed me I do not badly want that. Instead, I badly want to work with an expert who badly wants that. Because the brick walls are there for a reason. And the reason is to ensure we own it like a boss. And we own our mindset, our beliefs, our relationships, our behaviors, our habit, our finances, all of it. That we own it, the good, the bad, the ugly, so that you build the skill of bravery to change your world. And that changes our world. And isn't that something to celebrate? So you've heard my passion about brick walls. You have heard and experienced the yumminess of own it like a boss. But what can you, dear brave soul, what can you do right now to experience it like a kindergartner so that your next big success becomes your reality? Okay. There are 2 things, 2 questions. Simple, not easy. Simple, not easy. All right, here we go. What obstacle do you need to address? Is it perhaps a habit you want to change? A difficult conversation you've been avoiding? A mindset you need to shift? A skill you need to earn, build, deepen, enhance? What's an obstacle you need to address? Okay, question number 2. What opportunity do you need to grab? I'll tell you, these opportunities, I get a lot of pushback about this. What does that mean? What does that mean? And I get it. Sometimes it's really hard. We've got this negative bias brain. It's really hard to identify an opportunity. So another way to think about this is what has come, quote unquote, too soon. What is in your life, or who is in your life, or could be that you are, quote, not ready for? Those are opportunities. Because if it's there, if the possibility is there, you're ready for it. You're ready for the stretch. You're ready to build the brave of the stretch for that opportunity. Okay? So those are the 2 questions. What obstacle? What opportunity? Simple, not easy. When you have those answers, guess what? Experience it like a kindergartner so that you're telling it to your dentist. You're in the spiral. You're building your brave. And if you own it like a boss, no, wait. When you own it like a boss, we're not doing ifs. When you own it like a boss, what today is your goal is soon your reality. What is today your goal is soon your reality. When I started this business, I knew I would be of service to women in tech, building their brave to change their world so that together we change the world. That is my reality today. My clients are killing it. They're building it. They're creating it. They're altering it. They are transforming their world and through that, our world. My clients, 92% of them, 92. I couldn't believe the data. I actually had someone else run the data because it seemed so wild. 92% of them have more money after working with me. Wild. Imagine all that generational wealth, that audacious wealth. Way over half experience career progression. And way over half report deepened, stronger, broader relationships. And those relationships are how you and we gain access to those opportunities. It's also how we create opportunities for others and how we make sure folks that haven't been, quote unquote, in the room where it happens or even knew the room existed, that they get into that room. That's what my clients are doing because they build their brave. They change their world. They change the world. And you can too. You deserve it. So tell it to your dentist, experience it like a kindergartner, own it like a boss, and brave it up. Celebrate brave. Until the next episode, brave it up.
Thanks again for listening today. If you are ready to build your brave for more money, deeper relationships, and more opportunities in your life, reach out to me, Nicole Trick-Steinbach. I would love to help you. And please remember to rate and review this Celebrate Brave podcast so that more people can support our movement to redefine brave, how we define it, live it, and celebrate it.